The universe is pure technology. We will start with black holes. Supposedly black holes are pulling in information. All matter contains information. There is a black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, supposedly. But the organization of the black holes in a typical galaxy is organized like a computer network, a centralized computer network. If black holes are indeed computers, which I believe they are, then they are organized like computer networks. The same thing could be said with the stars and planets in the galaxies. They are also organized like computer networks. The same thing could be said about the clusters of galaxies. They are organized like centralized computer networks. The same could be said about solar systems. Now, these networks are fusions of technology, computer technology, communications technology, sensor technology, and so forth, which is something I will get into later. But the distribution of the black holes, the distribution of the stars and planets, the distribution of everything in the universe is a mere image of the distribution of technology networks, including computer technology, radio technology, sensor technology, and so forth. We have a system of networks inside networks inside networks. We have the network of the universe. We have the network of the galaxies. We have the networks of the clusters of galaxies, as well as the networks of the stars and planets and moons inside these galaxies. The system of networks inside networks inside networks are technology networks. And this includes the neural networks of the quadrillions of organisms throughout. This includes the networks of electricity inside their bodies and brains, as well as all the way down to the networks of DNA inside their cells. We live in a computing universe, a radio universe, a plasma universe, a fluid universe, an electromagnetic universe, and so forth and so forth. Let us focus on the Earth. The core of the Earth is some kind of computer core merged with an antenna unit. The electromagnetic field produced by Earth's core is a mirror image of that produced by a dipole antenna. Earth is some kind of transceiver antenna. The electromagnetic fields produced by the Earth are the same as those produced by a dipole antenna. The Sun is an antenna, an omnidirectional plasma antenna. Plasma antennas use plasma, essentially, as opposed to metal elements. Plasma is an ideal conductor of electricity. Humans are also antennas, electromagnetic antennas. Humans are partially optical antennas as well. Our bodies are the antenna elements. Now, humans have 7 chakras. This includes 7 different chakra colors, which correspond to the colors/classes of the suns, which I will not go into this at this point, except to say that this is a significant concept. And their classes are determined largely by their age, which determines their color. But the suns are plasma antennas fused with optical antennas. The stars are antennas. Humans are antennas. DNA molecules are also antennas. DNA molecules are essentially transceiver coils, apparently, And I already noted how the Earth, its electromagnetic field lines are the same as radio transceiver coil. The same thing could be said about the other planets that have electromagnetic fields. The same said about the Milky Way galaxy, not to mention other galaxies. But it also needs to be noted that DNA molecules are also computer code. The base pairs of DNA are reducible to binary code, all of which produce electromagnetic fields. It's interesting how the elements in our bodies is literally the stuff of stars that have been dead for billions of years. Now, black holes are essentially collapsed stars. Black holes are some kind of computer cores. They are essentially pulling in information. Matter is information, and the gravitational fields of black holes pull in matter anywhere within their gravitational grasps. But there is a black hole at the center of the Milky Way. Supposedly, it's called Sagittarius A. But there are black holes in orbit around the gigantic black hole at the center of the Milky Way. The system of computer black holes in orbit around the black hole at the center of the Milky Way is the same dynamic as the cloud computing platform. Black holes are essentially made out of the same stuff as computer cores, CPUs. They also function like CPUs. They also look like it. But the galaxies, especially the spiral and elliptical galaxies, are organized like the cloud computing platform. We have a central node with computers organized around this central computer node. But black holes, I believe, are fusions of technology, they are not just computer technology, but they are also antenna and sensor technology, I believe. I believe black holes are fusions of sensor technology, omnidirectional computer and sensor technology, and so forth. I believe that we live in a cybernetic universe, a technological megaplex. And it is probably controlled by an engineer or a team of engineers. But here are some more images of the cores of the galaxies. Black hole cores. Now, black holes produce very powerful gravitational and electromagnetic fields. And electromagnetic fields can basically be used to store information, transmit information. All electromagnetic fields can store information. All electromagnetic fields can transmit information. The electromagnetic fields radiating outward omnidirectionally, concentrically from black holes are antennas. The black holes themselves are also antennas. Black holes are machines. They're powered by the forces of gravity. They are also the equivalent of dynamos, which is something I will get into later. But the electromagnetic and gravitational fields produced by black holes are the same as those produced by radio transceiver antennas. The black holes are technology. The galaxies themselves are technology. The rings of the galaxies are electromagnetized. They are transceiver antenna rings. The galaxies are antennas. The stars are antennas. solar systems are antennas. As I noted, the suns are plasma antennas. Some galaxies are pure plasma galaxies. I am not going to go into that right now, but our Milky Way galaxy is a planar spiral broadband transceiver antenna. The same thing could be said about the other spiral galaxies. Astrophysicists and cosmologists, they even call a lot of galaxies radio galaxies. Galaxies are radios, basically. The galaxies are fusions of technology, antenna technology, including radio frequency identification technology, which is a fusion of antenna technology and computer technology. The galaxies are radio frequency identification tags, and that's not even half of it. There are many applications for RFID technology. But I included some other galaxies, some comparisons of technology. We can see here that the linear type galaxies are essentially structured like radio frequency identification tags. They have this core / chip. Then they have the radio lobes, or the external antenna. But they are also biosensors. Now, biosensors have a long list of applications. They have many shapes and sizes. Some of their applications include biological sensing, chemical analysis, molecular separation, and so forth and so forth. The galaxies are fusions of technology. Antenna technology, computer technology, sensor technology, which brings us to the concept of the fluid universe and microfluidic biosensors, including nanofluidic biosensors, which I am not going to go into. But the galaxies are biosensors. I believe the universe is some kind of gigantic, in part it is some kind of gigantic laboratory, and the galaxies are gigantic labs on chips. Now this brings us back to the distribution of the black holes in the galaxies. Now black holes are some kind of orifices, portals. They're pulling in material, information from one end, and they're spitting it out the other. This is in part a mirror image of some type of microfluidic devices that are used to separate particulates and so forth. But the distribution of the black holes and the distribution of the stars in the galaxies are mirror images of the distribution of sensor equipment. Technology is everywhere throughout the universe. All you have to do is look. Now this is a log spiral antenna with the elements arranged inside this antenna. The stars, the planets, are elements inside the antenna of the Milky Way galaxy. The suns are also antennas as well as antenna elements. The solar system is set up like a gigantic transceiver antenna relay system. But we have a system of antennas inside antennas inside antennas. This, as already noted, includes the human body, our DNA, antenna of the Milky Way. Antennas inside antennas inside antennas. Antenna elements inside antenna elements inside antenna elements. This includes traditional antennas with metal elements as well as plasma antennas, optical antennas. The technology that makes up the cybernetic universe is so absolutely exquisite that we don't even recognize it as technology. That plus the fact that it is so large and abstract and in our face, we don't even recognize it as technology. Plus, the technological nature of the universe is also hidden beneath quadrillions and quadrillions of megatons of fire and ice and rock and dirt and water and the rest of the natural elements. The cores of the planets and the galaxies are fusions of sensor technology, communications technology, computer technology, and so forth. The cores of the planets are serious pieces of technology. The same thing could be said about the cores of the galaxies. When you combine the dynamics of the cores, their movements, combined with the electromagnetic fields produced by these cores, we have some serious pieces of industrial and scientific technology. The chemical composition of the technologies that you see, combined with the electromagnetic dynamics of these technologies, are mere images of the composition and dynamics of planets and living moons and galaxies, especially when you consider the activities of their cores and the electromagnetic fields produced by these cores, which are mere images of the dynamics of sensor technology, computer technology, communications technology, and other technologies. Technology is everywhere throughout the universe. All you have to do is look. Most scientists believe that the cores of the suns, the planets, and galaxies are basically just simple, naturally formed dynamos, and they are dynamos, but they also play multiple other roles, including the roles of antenna elements. The system of antennas inside antennas inside antennas, electromagnetic fields inside electromagnetic fields inside electromagnetic fields is the same dynamic as a source relay destination system. The system of networks inside networks inside networks is a mere image of a local area network inside an intranet network inside an extranet network inside the network of the internet. The organization of the stars is a mirror image of the organization of networks inside networks. But anyways, let us look at black holes again. Binary black holes. If black holes are computers, then binary black holes would have to be dual core processors. As we noted, black holes pull in information. They pull in matter. All matter contains information. Binary black holes are some kind of dual core processor. Binary black holes appear to be dual core processors fused with antenna technology. I think black holes are fusions of technology, computer technology, antenna technology, and other technologies. The convergence or collisions of black holes, as rendered in this picture right here, I believe probably produces a single CPU, a single antenna. Now the stars are becoming more complex as they evolve, which is something I will not go into right now. In the meantime, The Milky Way is a radio frequency identification tag. This is a fusion of antenna technology and computer technology, as we can see here. The galaxies are technology. The Milky Way is an antenna for harvesting electromagnetic radiation. The black holes are also antennas unto themselves. Inside the antenna, the gigantic rings that encircle the Milky Way galaxy. I am way in over my head here, just like I am on all my other videos, and I have made a lot of serious mistakes, like I'm probably doing now. But the black hole at the center of the Milky Way in relation to the sun is a mirror image of this sensor dynamic. There is some serious technological dynamics taking place at the center of the galaxies. The center of are pieces of technology that defy the imagination. And they all produce electromagnetic fields, just like humans, just like the planets. But the galaxies and substrates and platforms, probably for organisms that evolved throughout the technoverse. The planets are also radio frequency identification tags, just like the organisms. Our brains would be the computer chip, our bodies would be the antenna. The electromagnetic field produced by the human body, by the way, are produced by electrochemical reactions in the human body. The electromagnetic field produced by the stars, I think I mentioned, are produced by the equivalent of dynamos in their cores. But these cores serve multiple roles as computer cores, sensor cores, antenna, I believe. They're made of the same composition as these technologies that we're looking at. They're just as complex chemically, structurally. They produce the same type of electromagnetic fields as well. All machines produce electromagnetic fields, including computers, cell phones, tablets, and so forth. But we have a system of antennas inside antennas inside antennas. Our brains are also antennas. I fear the human race is being manipulated through this system of electromagnetic fields. I don't know this, but I think it's very likely. The galaxy is a radio transceiver coil. The same thing could be said about the Earth. The same thing could be said about humans. We have a system of electromagnetic rings inside electromagnetic rings inside electromagnetic rings. This includes Earth's Van Allen belts, mirror images of the magnetic rings of a radar magnetron, more or less, an electromagnetic flux gate sensor. Bearing in mind all organisms produce electromagnetic fields. Earth is also a mirror image of an optical magnetic microsphere resonator spectroscope. These machines are used to analyze organisms and cells at the minutest level. The electromagnetic fields produced by organisms resonate with the electromagnetic field produced by the Earth. This is the same dynamic as an optical magnetic microsphere resonator spectroscope or an optical magnetic MRI. Now, Earth's Van Allen belts are not nearly as strong in magnetic strength as an MRI or a radar magnetron belt system, but the principle remains the same. The magnetic fields produced by the Earth and the Sun interact with the electromagnetic fields produced by the organisms on Earth, and there are no two ways about that. We have a system of machines inside machines inside machines. radar units, cyclotron units. Earth is a cyclotron, essentially. There are no two ways about that. Cyclotron, powered by its core. But cyclotrons are used by doctors and scientists to study organisms and other matter at the atomic and subatomic level. They're also used to produce radioisotopes for use in medicine. But Earth is a cyclotron in some kind of cyclotron/particle accelerator of the Milky Way galaxy. The galaxies are also cyclotrons. Planet Earth is a cyclotron. Or the galaxies might be decelerators as well of some kind. But anyways, the galaxies, like the rest of the technoverse, are fusions of technology. This includes particle accelerator technology, antenna technology, sensor technology, computer technology. The galaxies are fusions of technology. The black hole cores are important parts of this technoverse. Now this is a klystron tube. Klystrons function like radar. The structure of the fabric of space and the structure of the galaxies are more or less mirror image of a klystron. Now klystrons, like I said, they're like radar units, but the cores would be fusions of technology, including some kind of radar technology, sensor technology, computer technology, all rolled into one. All these technologies are pulling in information. The similarities that you see, as far as the comparisons between technology and the stars, are too similar to be coincidental. Let us have another look at the Milky Way galaxy, and let us compare it to this rendition of this antenna for UV harvesting and simulation. Now, bear it in mind, I've already noted that the electromagnetic field produced by humans is being picked up by the engineers of this. The electromagnetic fields produced by our bodies, including our organs, probably enable the engineers or engineer of the technoverse to monitor what we're not exactly what we're thinking, but what moods we're in. This includes monitoring our vital signs, our health, including mental health. And this would partially be determined by the human aura. But anyways, the universe is pure technology. Technology is everywhere throughout the universe. All you have to do is look. The galaxies and the planets are platforms or substrates for life forms that evolve throughout the universe, especially sentient life forms. The pineal gland at the center of the human brain, it's called a third eye by psychics and so forth. It's just another type of antenna, and I'm not going to get all metaphysical or astrological or anything. But the relationship between the core of the human brain, the core of the sun, the core of the earth, the core of the Milky Way galaxy is a very special relationship indeed. This is a mirror image of a source relay destination system, and there are no two ways about that. We have a system of machines inside machines inside machines inside machines. And I am going to start wrapping this up. I am not going to tell you what the significance of this material is. I have other videos out there under Cybernetic Universe. And if you like this video, please subscribe. If I get a certain amount of subscribers, then I get brownie buttons from YouTube. And also leave questions and comments.